Welcome to this video in which we will discuss steps to make a simple workpiece on lathe machine. Let's start the discussion. To make this workpiece on the lathe machine, you have to go through the following steps. Step number 1 is measure the length and diameter of the workpiece. Well, at first, we should measure the length and the diameter of the workpiece using vernier caliper. After measurements, we have to mount the workpiece on lathe machine's chuck by using chuck handle. Step number 2 is facing. The first machining process you should do is facing. Now what is facing? Well, facing is a process where you reduce the length of the workpiece. Now the question is, why we are doing facing first? Well, it's because we are reducing the length of the workpiece up to the required length. Step number 3, that is step turning. Before explaining you guys the step turning, let me explain you guys about the straight turning. Well, the straight turning is a process of reducing the diameter of the workpiece, and step turning means reducing the diameter of the workpiece in steps. Step number 4, straight turning. As I have already explained you guys that the straight turning is a process of reducing the diameter of the workpiece. Step number 5. Well, step number 5 is step turning core. As you guys already know about the step turning, and we are doing the same procedure here again to make the core. Step number 6, taper turning. Taper turning is a process where the diameter of the workpiece is gradually reduced from one point to the other point of the workpiece. Threading. Well, it is an operation that uses a single point cutting tool to produce a thread form on the cylindrical workpiece. As you guys are familiar with the nuts and bolts or screws as well, you guys must observe there a continuous helix. That helix is called as a thread, and the function of the thread is to connect parts, or you can say it acts like a fastener. There are many types of threads, but here in our case we are considering V-thread. Last operation is knurling. The operation is performed for producing indentations on a workpiece. Knurling allows better grip on the knurled object. This process is performed at the end of all processes with a tool called as knurling tool. You can see here we have a solid bar. At first, we need to mount the workpiece on lathe machine's chuck. Then we will perform the facing operation, in which we will reduce the length of the workpiece, and for that we will use the cross slide of the lathe machine. After that, we will perform the step turning operation, in which we will reduce the diameter of the workpiece up to a certain length. In this process, we will use the cross slide for feed and carriage handle for step turning. Then we will perform straight turning, in which we will give feed to the tool by using cross slide and then moving the cutting tool to the end of the workpiece by turning the carriage handle. After performing straight turning operation, we will perform step turning core, in which we will mount the other side of the workpiece in the chuck and will perform the step turning operation as described previously. Then we will perform taper turning operation. For that, we will rotate the compound rest, and then using compound rest, we will perform taper turning operation. Remember, we still have to provide feed by cross slide. After taper turning, we will perform threading operation, in which we will reduce the speed of the chuck. Then we will set the quick change gearbox for the required pitch, and then threading can be performed. Remember, in this operation, lead screw will rotate. At last, we will perform knurling operation with the help of a knurling tool. Well, that's all for today's video, in which we discussed the steps to make a simple workpiece on lathe machine. If you find this video helpful, then please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And if you have something to say, then leave a comment. Thank you very much.